What's interesting in these times is that so many of us are working from home now. And what that's done, we're in week 5, I think it is. And what that's done is that has absolutely taken away any type of structure that we did have in place previously. Just that commute to work, knowing that when you get to the office, you've got a day planned of the things that it is that you need to fulfill for that day, at least for that week. And you'll have, how you fit into that bigger picture piece. So I'm now going to speak to you about some of the things that I do to try and keep myself motivated to achieve what it is I need to achieve whilst working from home, because it's really difficult that when you're in your home space and you're not, especially if you're not used to being in your home space, and you have the children there too, and you have your husband or your wife there too, it's very difficult to actually get into the whole scenario of getting that structure together, what you need to do, because you're not used to having to school the children, you're not used to having your partner there constantly or the children there constantly. And it can be really difficult in so much as needing the time and space for you so that you can crack on and do some work. So what I've been doing is every single day without fail, I have been making a to-do list for that day. It's like a daily planner or your diary, whatever you want to term it to be. But every single morning, I have been making myself a plan of everything that I need to achieve. Whether that's for the whole week when we start on a Monday morning, it's like, well, what do I need to do for this week? What do I need to do today to help me get to that end goal of that week? Because it's so easy, isn't it? Especially if you have a garden and you can get your delivery of garden bits and bobs, because I have, and it's so easy, isn't it, to just really procrastinate on the things that you actually really do need to be tackling, like your tax return, and going out into the garden when we've had such beautiful weather and doing the jobs that you haven't done, for ages because you just haven't had the time. But it doesn't help. It helps to get those bits done, the things that you want to be doing, because they're the nice things. But when it comes down to actually having to do the things that you don't necessarily like so much, like the tax return, it's good to keep a list. And when you are just feeling totally sort of just demotivated, it's about, well, why am I even doing this? And to stop you from putting on Netflix and just binge watching a series. It's about being truly connected to what your bigger picture is. What is the bigger goal that you're trying to achieve? Because once you can align yourself to that or realign yourself to that, actually your daily goal setting becomes a lot easier because you can see the vision of where it is you're going to. So one of the other key things that I do is take that time and space for myself. So I do meditation. You may not do meditation, but if you are in a family setting and, as I said, you've got your partner there and your children are there and you're not used to being confined like that, make a schedule. Make a little schedule that allows each and every one of those family members to have some time on their own, to gather their thoughts, to do what they need to do, to get the headspace that they require so that they can come back into the family fold and just feel that they are more connected in that way, because they've had the time to sit and replenish their energy, really, their own energy force, their own energy field. And that's another key important thing. So get that schedule going. Get the schedule going. Doesn't matter what time of the day someone has, whatever they have, the time that they need. It's more important that you get the time. So have that conversation with your partners, have that conversation with the children, because it is something that you haven't necessarily had to deal with before. Some people would have had a long journey home on a tube or a train to get back to their family home before they've even got there, that they've had that time then to have that bit of space that they need just to declog the brain, just to clear the head. Some people would walk the dogs, but do whatever you need to do to make sure you get that headspace. So daily planning, make sure you get your headspace, and to keep motivated in all of that, make sure you're just connecting back into that bigger picture, that bigger vision. What is your goal? What are you wanting to achieve? And what do you need to put in place to make that happen? So I hope that helped.